I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this 306. I don't like that. I don't like being in the early, I can't wait until we're into the 20s and the 30s, because 306 is just weird sounding. Welcome, hello, and thank you for being here on this Monday evening, Monday, October 14th, 2024. This is the 306th episode of The Political Spotlight, and while I'm sounding a little bit better than I was, say, yesterday or Friday, Thursday, the end of last week, I do have a in my chest cough, and I also am a little just kind of blah. So please bear with us, and we will try to get through this, ladies and gentlemen. I will arguably tell you that I have no problem saying this. Out of a month, arguably, I feel confident in saying that we put together some pretty decent programs. If we say there's 4 weeks out of the month and there's 5 days a week, there are periods where we go 6 days a week for 2 or 3 weeks in a row. And then we might miss a day here or there, but it's pretty on the average. We do 4 or 5 episodes a week, 4 weeks a month. And I feel pretty confident in saying, out of those shows that we do, if you say that basically we're doing 25 shows a month, I would say, and it's probably a little narcissistic or, if I'm patting myself on the back, saying that I think that we put together at least 15 of those shows are good. I would say generally out of a month, 9 to maybe 10 of those shows are breaking news. We're breaking information, bringing information to you that no one else has heard of on the local and state level. I also don't have a problem with saying sometimes I phone it in. And I automatically straight out of the gate am telling you that tonight is kind of one of those phone-in shows, but we're still going to get some good information. We're still going to talk some serious things, and it's going to be It's gonna be a good show. Yeah, that's right. And that just let me know that I need to pull up the comments. Yeah, sometimes I'm on multiple times in a day, so it is what it is. You'll have to bear with us if every now and then it's a phone-in show. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what we've got going on tonight. We don't have any specific main topic to talk about. And tonight it's like everything else. There are pros and cons. There's ups and there's downs. And it's good and bad. It's good because we can kind of just take it easy, chill, relax, just kind of talk about a couple different things here, wrap some stuff up, hit some follow-up things, and it gives us a chance to prepare because we are getting ready to enter a time of complete insanity. We are really getting ready over the next couple of weeks to enter a period in which it's going to be crazy on the local level, state level, and on the national level. And it's going to be pretty crazy basically from now until I don't consider the end of it being Tuesday, November 5th, because however this election unfolds, there will be a lot of crap that we need to handle after the election as well. And I think that everybody is aware of that. It will be insane until January 20. And honestly, it will probably be insane after that too. Alva says some nights are meant for amphetamines and some nights are meant for psychedelics. Hey, let me tell you, I feel that. So, absolutely. All right. So, I am obviously reporting to you live from the Bilbrey plantation. And I will say to you that they're doing well. Someone messaged me last night and was like, I hope everything's okay. I hope they're yes, my grandparents are fine. They're sitting we are straight in the other room. They can hear me, and everything is fine. They're doing fine. We're just literally, I've been spending some time with them and decided instead of running back and forth and to and fro, I would just kind of bring the laptop and do what I needed to do here for a couple of days. We will be back in the studio here right shortly. So everything's there straight away. We'll be there and we'll get that taken care of. GW put some letters in the chat just a few moments ago, and those letters were MFD, which stands for the Muncie Fire Department. And yeah, that's going to be one of the things that we're going to cover tonight. So we're going to talk about that, and it's like not a big deal, but I think some people are interested in it, and it's something that we definitely need to cover. I'm going to first start off by saying thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys for being here, giving us a little bit of your time. I do want to ask that you do all of the things that you're supposed to do, whether you're here on YouTube or Rumble or X or Facebook or however you're here. Please, please, please give us that thumbs up. Give us that like. It doesn't matter to me. It's not like I need to say, oh, we've got 38 likes. And I see some people go in the comments and they say, we've got so many people here, but we've only got this many likes. Listen, honest to God, here's the true story. I wish we could hide all of that and people would just do it privately. The likes only help us with the algorithms. If you guys are not members, some of you are members, so you pay into our monthly account. Some of you do the super chat thing like Catherine does, and it pays into it. Everyone else, the way that you can help us out is by hitting that, which helps the algorithm. That is the way that it assists us. And so that's cool. So if you could please do these things up here, that would be great. If you're watching live, go over there and chat. If you're here live, obviously, I would ask that you share the show with everyone you know. Take some time and spread us around on your social medias, blah, 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 blah. If you're watching in repeat, please comment down below and do everything there. Yeah, interesting. We were featured on Rogue Nation the other day, and it's kind of weird because it seems like me and my hijinks and our content gets utilized in a lot of different ways. And Kate has put up here Rogue Nation, which is a YouTuber. Rogue Nation I would consider to be someone that is a First Amendment auditor. They follow police encounters and deal with that. They've got, how many subscribers do they have? Pull back down here. They've got 1,100. Is that 114,000? 114,000 subscribers. So it's a big channel, and their video is "Don't Question Us, Peasant," and it's not actually our content.
You're a student going back to school or uni, you need Grammarly. Right now, they have an amazing
Grammarly
offer.
is awesome. I
I
will
don't
tell
answer
you.
questions. Okay, I don't really know how to respond to.
Speed forward. Go ahead to like the about the 5-minute mark or 2-minute mark, wherever. So yeah, what this is this is the recording of me out in the hallway.
I do not want to leave this building. I want to hear what's in here. He's getting ready to deny the sheriff's department money. And there's no issue.
I don't know what's happening.
He's a punk. I just need to know.
He's a punk.
Whoever.
And so this is.
Nobody tried to do that though. They didn't go through the vote.
Yeah, this is great.
They didn't go through it at
This
all.
is like, it's like a nesting doll.
Okay.
All right, you can mute it now.
So they never got to that.
Thank you. So this is like it's like a nesting doll. Like it was me arguing with the police, and it's hilarious because then you've got Bree recording me, and then you've got Aaron recording Bree, recording me, and then I think there was even somebody recording Aaron, recording Bree, recording me. So it's like Russian nesting dolls. But yeah, we were happy that was on Rogue Nation. I sent a message to the creator there at Rogue Nation and said, hey, there's more content. If you're interested, here's this. And we'll see. Maybe they'll contact us, and maybe they won't. You know, I don't know. We shall see. Always big time news when the your attorney at the ACLU, I woke up and had an email from him yesterday, and he hadn't been in the office, so he had not received my email to him yet, because I sent an email to him Tuesday night after, like, when I first got out. He was the very first person I contacted, and he has been out of the office, had not seen that apparently, and he emailed me, and I got an email. He said, it said, greetings. I have heard through the grapevine that you had been removed from a meeting while speaking. Is there any truth to this? So somehow this man had heard this. My attorney had heard this. So I'm telling you, this dude is on the ball. I love it. So I was able to speak with him today, and we had a good conversation. For the people out there that are watching this, and you know who you are, there's a couple of you that have asked me to pass along some information. I did do that. I did do that. So for those of you that have asked, I'm not going to say any more than that, but we're good there. Okay. I do want to hit upon the post here real quickly that Jackie just posted on our link. I think that it's very important. Give me 1 second here. Let me get this. Let me get it. Perception, the political spotlight opened up here on YouTube. This is very important for people to know, folks. Let me see here. I'm going to pull this up and we will share this so you guys can see this, because this is really big. I was just talking to my mother about, I stopped over by the house and was talking to her. They were talking about maybe going in and early voting. I'm going to let everybody know, if you plan to early vote here in the state of Indiana, specifically here in Delaware County, prepare to wait in line. Prepare to wait in line. And that sounds like a horrible thing. It's not. That's what we want. We want people to stand in line. We want that many people voting. I want you guys to see this. This is from the elected clerk of the Delaware County, and Rick Spangler an hour ago said, over 2,000 of your friends and neighbors have already taken advantage of early in-person voting. The next 3 weeks will be perfect to get your vote cast without worrying about the weather or crazy lines at your precinct. We are open from 8:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, Saturday the 26th, and Saturday, November 2nd. And then the only other thing that I will add, they will also be open Monday the 4th from 8:30 until noon. So you have a lot of days in which you can walk in and cast your vote. Okay, so just briefly, we'll cover the 3 ways that you can vote. There's technically 4 ways that citizens can vote. There's 4 voting methods, but the average American citizen, specifically the average Indiana Hoosier, has 3 ways. You can walk in to your polling place. In Delaware County does not have vote centers yet, so you have to go to your specific precinct still. A lot of places have vote centers, so you can go anywhere in the county, not Delaware County yet. Stupid, I know. But you can walk into your specific polling place between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. That's 22 days from right now. 22 days from right now. You can also vote. Man, is mail-in ballot over? The ability to request mail-in ballots? There's a time period where if you haven't done that, if you have not voted, by mail-in ballot, that there's a time limit that it's over. I don't know when that is. Kate, are you looking that up? Kate's looking that up. So we'll get back to that in a second. You can go in and vote early. Okay, so today is Tuesday. This is going to be very specifically for the live audience. Today, as we record this, as this is being broadcast, today Is Monday? Oh, wait a second.
You have until 12 days before the election to have your application in the clerk's hand for a mail-in.
Okay, so 12 days before the election. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If it goes by Saturdays and Sundays too. So that will be the 24th. So, Michael Goodman, what I would suggest to you is to do this. Listen to me. Go to www.indianavoters.com. Okay. Okay. Maybe you can put that at the bottom of the crawler. And that is www.indiana.
I've put the form for the application as a link.
Okay, that's cool
in
too.
the comments for you.
But there's an easier way than doing the form, because the form you actually have to go in and print it and mail it.
Well, I'm just saying that's one option.
Yeah. That's so she's put that over there, and that's a way. To me, you've got to run the risk of printing it, mailing it, or taking it up there. If you go to the same place, it's at the bottom of the screen. You can go to www.indianavoters.com. Matter of fact, let's just go and show you. This is very important. This is very, very important. Might as well show people. So here is indianavoters.com. You can go to this website. This is www.indianavoters with an S, INDIANAVOTERS.com, indianavoters.com, indianavoters.com. And you can see where it says register to vote, check voting status, vote by mail or traveling board. Okay. I want to talk about this traveling board. You can have a traveling board come to vote you if you are on disability, if you're like indigent, like people in nursing homes and elderly people that can't really move. It's kind of a big deal. They come to your house, a Republican and a Democrat. There's 2 people each. You have to allow them in, and you have to allow one member from both parties. They do this, and then they go. It's harder to get that because most people don't qualify for that. What the average American, or the average Hoosier would qualify for would be mail-in ballots. And what you do is you go right here where it says vote by mail or traveling board, apply online. And it says visit my voter portal. Okay. You click on where you see all this right here, and you can go down. Okay. And it says, let's see where it says vote by mail. Okay, you don't want to actually, you don't want to print off the ballot. I mean, you can print off the ballot, but that doesn't really make sense. So you can do it right here online. Well, I've done this. Go ahead.
You can print it off, and rather than mail it, you can email it in.
Sure. Yeah. You can do all of that.
So there's lots of different options. The Secretary of State's link for absentee is also in the comments for you. So you have all those options.
Absolutely.
It explains the process to go to the indianavoters.com as well. So
I
want to make sure everybody's got like every option available.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to do this. What I would tell you is probably the easiest way, and you can do it right now. Ooh, yeah, that's a problem if only one person was there, Tweety Bird, because they're supposed to have 2 people. You might want to check up on that. They're supposed to have 2 people. That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is really easy. Okay, here's your voting portal. All right, it shows you your information, and it says want to apply for an absentee ballot, choose your option below. Vote by mail. You click on vote by mail. Okay. And it tells you to enter your Indiana driver's license number, the last 4 digits of your social security number, or your unique voter ID from voter registration record. You need to enter one of these 2 things, your driver's license or your last 4 digits. You enter that in right here. Okay. And when you enter that in, once you enter that in, it will then tell you, hold on, let me back this off here and let me show you what happens here. Okay. Submit. Okay. Yes. Okay. So then what happens is once you enter that information in, you can then come right here and when you enter that, it says reason to vote absent by mail. I have a specific reason, expectation of being absent from the county on election day during the entire 12-hour time. So if you work and you will not be here on Tuesday, November 5th, all you got to do is you click that. Or you can click, I will be confined to my residence. I will be caring for an individual confined. I'm a voter with disabilities. I'm a voter of at least 65 years of older. So like for my grandparents do this. I click this for both of them. I'm a voter of at least 65 years of age. Click that. That's all you got to do. And then you click, did you receive help? Yes or no. And then you come down here and you click this. And then when you hit submit application, once you click submit application, now that the application period is open, they'll get that tomorrow morning. And I would say by tomorrow afternoon, they'll be working on sending it out. You will receive a ballot in the mail within 2 or 3 days. Yeah, well, sex offenders can vote, amazingly. Felons can vote in the state of Indiana. So if you're a sex offender, because here's the thing, some polling places are in schools. So if you are on the list, you can't go there. So yada, yada. That is one of the reasons. Me personally, I like to vote in person on election day. I think it's the most safe, secure way to do it, but there are reasons. So you can definitely do that, and it's very easy. You can mail it in, you can email it in, you can scan it, you can drop it off, or you can simply click it right there. If I wouldn't have been showing you guys, it would have taken me 30 seconds to do that. It takes, honestly, longer to fumble and get your driver's license number. So that is a good thing to know. And it's very, very important. Very important. All right. But I do want to make sure that people are aware of the fact that you can vote in person on walking in. All right. The rest of this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then Saturday and Sunday is off. Then starting next week, starting the week of Sunday the 20th through Saturday the 26th, you can go in anywhere in the state of Indiana and vote Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and they're also open on Saturday. Then you can go in the following week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then Monday before election day, you can also go in. So there's lots of time to do it. And Delaware County to already have 2,000 voters in. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. So Since when? Early voting started on Tuesday the 8th. So that's 2,000 people that have voted. Basically, that's in less than a week. So it opened on Tuesday the 8th. So that was the 8th through the 11th. And then today is the 14th. So, I mean, I'll put it to you like this. Normally in this same time period, we would have voted 200 people, maybe 300 people. So 2,000 people is a pretty big. Yeah, I'll tell you, I've been to the Delaware County building 3 times since early voting has started. And every time I've been there, there has been a line, a line of 15 to 20 people out the door. So it's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. The whole your place of employment having to let you off to vote is kind of like I mean, we're a right to work state, so I mean, I imagine they could be like, "Hey, you can get off to vote," and then, "Oh, by the way, you're also fired tomorrow." I don't know. I just know. Listen,
I was just looking, and there is no law on the books that requires employers to allow you.
I was going to say I
time
didn't
to go
think
vote.
that was true in the state of Indiana. Indiana's real wonky. I don't think that is accurate. That being said, I fully believe that if you want to vote, there are ways for you to vote. It still shocks me that we do as much early voting as there is. Like, I mean, I don't know how long. Honestly, to me, what floors me is November election day is the same everywhere. Every town, city, county, November election day is the same for the national elections. I have always said that it should be a national holiday. The only people that should work on election day are police, fire, EMS, and the clerk's office, the people in the voting, the people that are making sure the votes work. We should honestly, it should be a national holiday. If they made that a national holiday, it would be so much better and easier. And then the May primary or the primary could be a floating holiday. So for whenever your state's primary is, that day would be another holiday. It's stupid, absolutely ignorant why it's not like that. I guess vote for me for president and we'll make it happen. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I've never understood why someone hasn't put that forward. It would make so much sense. It's insane to me. So that's the voting stuff. That's very important. I'm glad that Jackie put that forward. That is very true. Also, on the record request front, I want to let folks know that I issued record request, as I said, for all of the Westdell stuff. I have not received any of that yet. But, with the fact that John Brooks sent me the response on Saturday, I know they're working on it. I know we'll have it. We'll have it soon. So today, after we did last night's show, this morning, I sent an email to everybody, like literally everybody. Everyone that is an elected official in Delaware County or the city of Muncie that's part of the administrative or the council, the legislative bodies received this email. So I sent the email to Muncie City Councilors Jeff Green, Nora Powell, Brandon Garrett, Sarah Gullion, Jerry Dishman, Harold Mason, Rose Selvey, Dale Basham, and William McIntosh. Okay. I also sent it to their attorney, Dan Gibson. I also sent the email to Dan Ridenour, the mayor. I sent it to Amber Green, the communications director. I sent it to Lacey Jones, the chief deputy clerk in the clerk's office. Okay. I then also sent this to the Delaware County Council members, Jessica Piper, Ryan Webb, William Hughes, Eugene Whitehead, Dan Flanagan, Matt Kantz, Jim Mokel, and then I also sent it to the commissioners, James King, Shannon Henry, Sherry Riggin. And the email I sent was as follows. Hello all. I'm sending this email looking for answers about the city of Muncie's recent annexation announcement that was posted about on Saturday, October 12th, 2024 by a former Star Press reporter. He posted a few pictures that you will find below, and it looks as if the City Hall auditorium was pretty empty. This seems like just one more thing that Mayor Ridenour has done under the cover of darkness. It's truly amazing how this always seems to happen. Okay, I'm now going to ask a series of questions of the following city and county officials: Mayor Dan Ridenour and the communications director, Amber Green. Muncie City Councilors Jeff Green, Nora Powell, Brandon Garrett, Sarah Gullion, Jerry Dishman, Harold Mason, Dale Basham, Rose Selvey, and William McIntosh. And then I put my first round of questions. And then Lacey Jones. I then County Commissioners King, Shannon, Henry, Riggin, and then Flanagan, Hughes, Kantz, Mokel, Whitehead, Piper, and Webb. I said I would like a response from all of the various officials that I asked questions of. And then I put questions, Muncie officials. Besides Mayor Dan Ridenour and his administration, were any of the 9 Muncie City Councilors at the annexation public meeting last week? Were any of you aware of the mayor's annexation plan for Westminster Village, Farmington, and Heron Point? If you were aware of the plan, when did you first find out about it? Okay, then next, Delaware County officials. And I asked them the following question. Were any of you in attendance at the city's public meeting reference annexation held last week? Were any of you aware of the mayor's annexation plan for Westminster Village, Farmington, and Heron Point? And if so, when did you become aware of it? Questions for Mayor Dan Ridenour. Looking at last week's calendar for the city of Muncie on the city's website, there was nothing about the annexation public meeting on the website. Why? What day was it held? Why did you not have the meeting live streamed? This is what people find so irritating about you. You feel, for some unknown reason, like you do not owe anyone any kind of explanation. When you ran for office in 2018 and 19, and then again for re-election in 2023, you promised to improve communication, transparency, and accountability. You also promised to improve relationships between the city and the county. How do you think that you're doing on any of that? Mayor Ridenour, when are the other public meetings? The meetings should be live streamed. And then I sent the following question to the deputy clerk. Is there something that we can do to attempt to get word of the other public meetings? Can those dates and times be posted on the city's website? The meetings should be live streamed. I then sent to the communications director. Can we work on live streaming the future public meetings referencing annexation plan? And then to all public servants, I said, do you think that you could all try a bit harder to do right by the citizens that elected you? Could you try a bit harder to be open, honest, forthcoming with information? For the love of God, it doesn't have to be as hard as you all make it. I'm looking for replies to each of these questions from specific officials that I have asked. Please send your replies back to the following email address. And then I sent that off. I sent that off this morning. I have received responses from a couple different officials. Let me tell you who, what, when, where, how, and why. So today at 10:35, I received an email from Delaware County Councilor Jim Mokel, and his response was, look at this. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Share. I want to blow it up so you guys can see it. Okay. Mokel said, annexation meeting questions, no and no. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaks a Lot. You're really banging there in the communications department, sir. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. No and no. Oh, okay. These people, man. It's like you would think having to communicate was like deadly to them. Okay? Just insane to me. Counselor William Hughes, Bill Hughes, Delaware County Counselor, says to me, I was not at the meeting. I only became aware of the proposed annexation after the public announcement. Okay. Fair. Yeah, what a master of the English language. Yes. I wish he would have just typed, this. Oh, I wish I could do it on my phone. Let me see if I can put it in the comments on my phone, because it'll do it on my phone. Let me see if I can do it in the comments here on my phone. I'm going to try it. I wish you would have said this. I'm going to try it. I wish you would have said this. I'm going to try it. Yeah. Put that on there. See my little two? I wish he would have just did that. Whatever. Anyways, at least he responded. You know, it's better than nothing. So that's so far 2 county counselors. I can dig it. Okay. And then Rose Selvey, Muncie City Council, always in with the response. Like, you know, she don't mess around. Miss Selvey says, Mr. Bilbrey, I did not attend the meeting, but I'm hoping to catch these 2. Row. So I'm like, okay. So I called her and she said, no, I was not aware of this. I was not aware of it until after. And I was not able to attend. I would not have been able to attend because I'm a school teacher. Maybe we should have these meetings at a different time than when people are at work. Or I'm a rocket scientist for thinking this. Maybe you could have one meeting at like 10 to 11. And then you could have another meeting at like 4 to 5. Then you could have another meeting at like 7 to 8. You could have these meetings spread all over and make it very easy for people from all shifts to attend. You know how, that's the way that you build on and improve communication. You meet the citizens where they are. You do what you can to make it easy for the people who are your bosses. I'll tell you, I did not receive an email from Mr. Kantz. However, I spoke to Mr. Kantz, and Mr. Kantz was not aware of this. So I don't really need an email from him. I'm aware. I spoke to Ryan Webb. Ryan Webb was not aware of this. So I didn't get an email from him, but I spoke to him, and I know he wasn't aware. So what that means, folks, is this. Let's go down and look at this. We've got commissioners. We got 1, 2, 3. We've got county council. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we've got city council. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Ryan Webb didn't know. Matt Kantz didn't know. Jim Mokel didn't know. Bill Hughes didn't know. And Roselvi didn't know. Okay. And Brandon Garrett did not know. Okay. I've not heard from the 3 commissioners. I've not heard back from the other council members or that. Okay. So at the beginning of this, you got 3, 7, 9. Okay. All right. So that's a total of 19 officials. Out of 19 officials, 6 of 19 have said, no, we were not aware. That leaves us (13 of 19) that have not answered. Okay. All right. So 13 of 19 have not answered. But I am willing to, well, plus the mayor, but the mayor was there. So obviously he was aware. But yeah, the mayor would make 20. But the mayor was there, so he was aware. But who knows what exactly he's aware of. But we can make some pretty safe assumptions from this. Matt Kantz didn't know. Hey, no problem, Michael Goodman. No problem. We can make some pretty safe assumptions from this. Matt Kantz, Eugene, and Bill didn't know about this. All right. If Eugene didn't know about it, it's pretty safe to say that Dan Flanagan didn't know about it because they're 2 peas in a pod. All right. If Matt Kantz didn't know about it and Bill didn't know about it, it's pretty safe to say Jessica didn't know about it. And then who's the only other counselor we're looking at? Eugene, Ryan, Bill Hughes, Matt Kantz, Jim Mokel, Dan Flanagan, Jessica Piper. Who's the other one? Jessica Piper, Ryan Webb. Oh, Eugene Whitehead. Okay, yeah. So if okay, yeah, that's right. Dan Flanagan, Piper, and Whitehead. And if Jim Mokel, Matt Kantz, and Bill Hughes didn't know about this, you can be assured that Whitehead and Flanagan didn't know. Matt didn't know. You can be assured that Jessica Piper didn't know. If Matt and Jessica didn't know, you can be assured that the commissioners did not know. Okay? Now, with Roe not knowing, you really can't make any assumptions from that because Roe's kind of in an off island by herself. She doesn't really run with the Republicans anymore. She's not really running with the Democrats anymore. So we're going to have to hear from some more city councilors. Now, I think that the city councilors might be in an off position here. I don't think that some of them would want to admit that they didn't know about this. I think we could get them in a corner where some of them would be like, we didn't really know. So I've been working today. I took today pretty easy. I didn't do much. But what I did do, if everyone didn't know how the hell is this deal getting done, well, because I can tell you, Dirty Dan was trying to keep it on the lowdown. Absolutely. Absolutely. To say Dan is definitely on the down low, I will definitely say that. Dan is definitely on the down low. And I can say that with every fiber of my being. Stumblefoot, because until this goes to the council, which would probably be sometime, I bet it's probably not going to go in November, maybe December, probably January. Until then, the council won't know about it. Well, so that's the whole deal, is follow the money. We're going to have to figure out what this is worth. Who's getting what from this? What's going to be, what ends up being the gain? We know what the loss will be. Okay, the loss will be to the county. The county is going to be at a loss for this. It's not a major loss, but it is going to be for loss. What's amazing to me is the Delaware County Council met today. They met in a public meeting, a public hearing, a budget meeting, and they didn't discuss this. This didn't come up. Why? Why would one or two of them not have said something about this? No one would have mentioned anything about this? That's crazy to me. And let me tell you guys this. Let me go and see. They were still on. They were still on when I was preparing the show. Let me see if I can tell you how long that meeting. This Delaware County Council is meeting. It's nuts what they're doing. So 3 hours, okay? 3 hours, 49 minutes, and 3 seconds is how long their budget meeting lasted today. I cannot wrap my head around that. Oh, yes. Okay, I just saw. That's weird. How are you typing in the private chat? What's going on with your name in the private chat?
GW already pointed it out. I did fix it,
Okay.
but Brody was using this earlier, and so
That's
changed the name.
Okay, that's
But he wasn't
hilarious.
Kate for his college professor.
Okay.
And so I didn't even pay attention.
That's no big deal. I was like, what the hell? Okay, so yes. Okay. Oh. Everyone looking the other way, but not here on TPS. Spotlight is on it. Ding. Yeah, right. Absolutely. I agree. That's hilarious. Yes, if you could put that notice in there. So I'm almost sad to say this. I don't know if Chris Bunner is watching. Chris Bunner is kind of my is kind of like the queen of the legal notices. And I got a couple people that really go out of the way to like send me stuff, and I love when people do that. I think that's great. And it really shows that you guys are kind of like intermeshed and part of this. And that's really cool. GW sends a lot of good stuff. A lot of you do. But I sent Chris Bunner searching for this, and Kate found it. So the public notice for this annexation was posted. Let me write this down. All right. The government notice was posted on September 9th, September 10th. Okay, 2024. And it says, notice of public outreach meeting of the city of Muncie, Indiana, regarding a proposed annexation. Please take notice that the city of Muncie, Indiana, the city, is conducting an outreach program for purposes of providing information to landowners and the public. Ha ha ha! Yeah, Chris. Thank you. Sorry to put you on that wild goose chase, and then Kate found it. But I always know I can turn to you to look for legal notices. But thank you. And now you know that you don't have to waste your time, though. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, as always. Okay, so to the purpose of providing information to landowners and the public regarding a proposed annexation. The proposed annexation area compromises approximately, okay, that's interesting, 141.86 acres that would annex to the city, 1 Westminster Village, Muncie, a portion of the Farmington neighborhood, and 3, a portion of the Heron Point neighborhood. Please note the proposed annexation will not cause an increase in any residential, no residential property tax bills. Interesting. In connection with the outreach program, the city will be conducting 6 public meetings. Interesting. To provide citizens and landowners with information regarding the proposed annexation. The dates, times, and locations of the public meetings are as follows. All right. So we've got Thursday, 10/11/24 at 11 a.m. And then there was one tonight. Amazing. So that's Monday, 10/14/24 at what time was that? 6 p.m. And then we've got one. Okay, and that one was at the Knights of Columbus. Amazing. Okay. So we've got one tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Tuesday. Okay. Tuesday, 10, 15, 24. At what time? 10 a.m. And where's that at? That is also going to be at the KFC. What's up?
I'm just coming up here so you can write and I can read.
Okay. And then after that one, that's Tuesday. What's the next one?
October the 16th at 5 p.m. And that one's at the Kennedy Library on West McGalliard.
Okay.
Then Thursday the 17th at 2 p.m. at the Kennedy Library. And then Friday the 18th at 3 p.m. also at the Kennedy Library.
At 3 p.m.?
Yes.
Weird. If you would like to submit a public comment or ask a question about proposed annexation, please submit your comments or questions by email to the city clerk for the city of Muncie, Indiana. Muncie clerk of... See, what? Why? No, don't do this. Send it to the clerk. Let us look through it. Tell us when you want it. If you're submitting a question, please note in your submission whether you would like the question to be answered publicly in the public outreach meeting or by return email. Emailing comments or questions at least 24 hours prior to the desired meeting will ensure your comment is distributed and reviewed by the appropriate staff. You're encouraged to attend one or more of the public. Good night, Michael. What is this? So they posted this in this, so they got it into the paper in September. I would be interested. How many times did this run? Does it only run once?
That's all that I found it. And Chris went all the way back, she said, until September the 15th and didn't find anything.
God, man, I'm telling you, that's nuts.
So they published it once, 30 days out. They're having 6 meetings. And reading it, it doesn't sound like they've talked to the neighbors.
Yeah, right. You're right.
And the neighbors would have to approve this.
Well, yeah, right. And didn't it seem as if before they were talking in a way in which it seemed like it was already a done deal?
Yeah. But you have to have 70% of the landowners approve of this, from what I was reading in code, correct?
That's what I would say. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. I was talking to someone about it today. 75%.
But it says, in connection with the outreach program, the city will be conducting public meetings to provide citizens and landowners with information.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like they haven't even reached out to the neighborhoods. Well, Dan always acts like everything is a done deal, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't see Heron Point folks being okay with this. I meant to reach out to my guy out there, but I didn't today. I'll talk to him. I was going to tell you who it was, but I won't until I talk to him. You'll all know. I mean, you'll all know who he is when I say who it is. It's nuts, man. I cannot believe that. What is this? Oh, sorry. Someone sent me something. I'll see what that is. Okay. And Kate sent me the Kate's not down there anymore. I just saw Brandon's post. Kate, if you can hear me, if you're in the room, I just saw Brandon's comment in the group. Oh my God. Okay, so here's the deal. This annexation is weird. I don't know what the pros here are. Obviously something, or Dan wouldn't be doing it. Obviously there's something here, but what it is, we got to find out. I did send a records request into the city of Muncie today asking for any and all contracts that the city of Muncie has with Barnes and Thornburg and Crowan and Associates for the annexation stuff. Any agreement, contract, or whatever that we have with them. I ask for all claims that they have submitted for work that they've done throughout all of this process. I ask for an initial starting date of the process. And I ask for the copies of the paid checks where we have paid the claims, because I want to know how much money this has already cost us. He plans to bulldoze all of those areas and build 3 ginormous splash pads. This is very seriously like Monopoly, man. He buys up these properties and he builds these little blue houses on them. And then he gets so many of those and he tears those down and he builds an apartment building. And then he gets so many of those and he tears those down and he builds a splash pad. And splash pad is the number one thing. Instead of it being like hotels in apartment complex, it's like that. And instead of you being like the hat and the thimble, instead of you being the hat and the thimble, this is what your character is. If you're Dan, it's the ass end of an elephant. That's what Dan's playing piece is on the Monsopoly board. Oh God, I just don't understand, man. He's crazy. So, in talking to a couple people about this today in the city of Muncie, more like store states that never happened. That's true too. He just tears it down and he's like, I promise this is going to happen. Oh, can you put up those things I sent you, or the one or the other? If I sent it, is it the same thing that you just showed? It might be. Yeah, it is. So yeah, you don't need to put that. Well, okay, you put it in. So this is what someone sent me this, which this is what the administration sent to the council attorney. This must be what they sent the newspaper, and as you can tell, it didn't have how many acres were in it. They hadn't filled that in, and it doesn't have the address or the location for all of the other meetings. The thing is, this idiot should not hold these meetings out at the Kentucky Fried Chicken or the Knights of Columbus. But I was talking to somebody today and they kept saying he's having it at KFC. And I was like, why is he having it at KFC? What? I was like, that sounds like, Dan, have some kind of public hearing at KFC. I didn't know they were talking about the Knights of Columbus. Okay. It's not really KFC either. It's KOC. So he's having it like he's doing his meetings at Cock. That makes sense too. Okay, so enough of that. All right, now we're going to be digging here. When I get these records, we'll find out, see how much money we spent on this. And I'm still trying to figure out what the big push is here. There's something that he's looking for. There's something that there's something here, but what it is, we may never know. We'll know eventually, but we just have to figure out what it is. I don't know what he's doing. Okay. So moving on, the last thing that we're going to go through, and this is going to be the rest of the show, we're going to be talking about this. I have this already planned out on my other at home in the studio. But give me a second here. I'm downloading this here because we're going to go ahead and go. We're going to go ahead and go through this here. Might as well, right? What else do we got to do? Might as well. So this is going to take us back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Muncie Fire Department cheating scandal. And if you recall, I talked about this a couple weeks ago. And I talked about the fact that the judge had made a couple rulings and that citizens needed to be aware of the rulings, and we needed to know, like, you guys needed to hear what everything was and be able to read and see it and hear it and see it. And basically what the situation was is I was waiting on confirmation of one thing, but I'm now going to present these wow, that was really cool how that happened. Wow, watch this. So I'm going to present these to you and let you guys see these, and we're going to talk about them. I'm going to, they're like 22 pages each. I'm going to crop them down so you guys can see them and post them on my social media. I'm going to post them on Facebook then I'm going to take that link and I'm going to post that on Twitter so people can see them everywhere. But I want to show you these, and I think it's important that people see this stuff because, again, my whole thing with the Muncie Fire Department cheating scandal is this. What the Delaney was doing in and of itself in helping the recruits, I don't take issue with. I don't have a problem with. It's when he was texting them and saying, you got to put into me. I put so much into you. I'm ready to see what you're willing to give back to me. That's a little icky. That's funky. And then obviously just the moral dilemma here of, doing the wrong thing and, being clean about it or not. Now, that's on one problem. That's on one hand. The other hand, you've got the people that specifically were attacking him, not because they cared about what he was doing or not, but simply because they were trying to cut him down because he was next in line for a promotion that it's not that they if he would have been over it, he would have ran what he would have been doing as a stickler. And they didn't want it. They didn't want that. So they were doing whatever they could, up to and including lying under oath. And that's a real problem too. To me, it's a bigger problem than the initial issue. To me, it's the monetary gain that's being stolen when they cheat on a test that allows them to honestly earn that money. I think that's a bit of a stretch because at the bottom line, there's nobody that was going to fail these tests. And the test is not what makes it. Listen, when you're having a medical event, you don't care if someone scored a 70 or a 75 on a test. You care about if they know how to get you or your loved one out of whatever situation that you or your loved one is in. They know how to offer the proper care, get you out of pain, get you out of harm's way, and get you to the hospital to where you or your loved one can be made whole again. And to me, being EMS, police, fire, it's not. Bookwork is such a small part of it. So I'm not saying he's completely out of punishment. I think that he deserves punishment. Particularly, I don't care for the guy. But I don't think that they should just not like him because he's a hard ass to work for. And so they're like, ooh, let's get rid of this guy because we want it to be easy. Well, no, that's not how that works either. And then the fact that you've got firefighters, legitimate full-time Muncie firefighters, lying under oath, that's a problem. Okay? So let's take a look at this and see what you guys think about it. And we'll go from there. So here's, yes, GW. That's right. Okay, I want to get rid of this. How do I get rid of this? Like that. That was ask and you shall receive. Okay, this is the state of Indiana. Okay, Kate, I'm going to be off screen during this. So the city public notice for the property annexation was posted in the Star Press. So is there anything posted in the city's website about the annexation public notice? Real quickly, before we move on to this fire department thing, good question, Jackie. Nothing that I have seen to this point. As of 10:26 p.m. on Monday, October 14th, 2024, there is nothing, nothing, nada, period. Nothing on the city's website about this annexation situation. Matter of fact, stand by and I will show you quite just right here, so it's out there so everyone can see it. Share this instead, view this. Here's the city's calendar that is also on, and when the city of Muncie puts anything on their website that is given a date and a time, it goes on this calendar. And I know it's a little hard to see, but you can go check this out for yourself. At least as of right now, 10:27 p.m. on Monday, October 14th, there is nothing listed as for the any of this information pertaining to these 6 public hearings. Nothing at the City Hall on the 10th, nothing at the Knights of Columbus or Kennedy Library on the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, the 17th, or the 18th. Nothing anywhere written on the city's website, posted. Nothing on the city's Facebook page. Nothing. Good question.
Here's the documents page.
Yeah.
Where it's news and notices. And that was put in the paper in September 10th. But we've got August 7th, August 19th, August 20, or September 26th. It's about Amber being appointed, the Gamebridge Field being dedicated to Frances Lafferty, and the ribbon cutting on September the 26th, the third or fourth one on September 26th that was posted.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been anything in the news and notices on the city page either.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Can you, while you're here, can you go back to the main page real quick of the cities, just to show them if you when she's here.
Good night, Bob.
Is it going?
So there's recent news.
No, you'll have to click us over to it. We're not seeing what you're seeing.
Oh. There.
Okay.
That it?
Yeah. Go.
Sorry
Go.
about that.
All right. You're all right. There you're up top. All right. Scroll down to the bottom. All right. There's nothing there. All right. Look right here in recent news. There's nothing. Okay. Right here's the main. Okay. Right there. And then right here, there's nothing. This is where they post things like that. And there's nothing there. There's nothing for the 10th. And they've got things on the 15th, 16th, and 17th. But none of them include this really big deal, this annexation of property into the city.
And that's the bottom of the page.
Yeah. So that's, I appreciate that. That was a good question, Jackie. I don't know. We'll have to deal with it. Those people are idiots. This is the way that Dan does things. It's so gross. Okay, I'm going to be off page now. If you can tell me if something happens or if whatever. Okay, so this is the judge's ruling. State of Indiana Office of Administrative Law Proceedings. Troy Delaney, petitioner. I saw that. Who do the firefighters think they are? Police officers, because they're lying. That's funny. Okay. Having heard the evidence and arguments presented in this matter, issues this non-final order addressing the decision by the Board of Firefighters, Personal Standards Education. Okay, and the issue reads a bunch of crap off. This non-final order is favorable to petitioner. All right, and the petitioner, of course, was Troy Delaney. Any party dissatisfied with this decision may appeal. Appeal instructions are at the end of the document. Jurisdiction, okay. And it talks about why the judge in this case has jurisdiction. The issue of the case is whether petitioner violated, this big long code, and if so, what sanction is appropriate. And then they basically go through the history. On June 5th, 2023, the Firefighting Board permanently revoked Troy Delaney's firefighter certificates, including Fire Officer 1, Fire Officer 2, Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2, Instructor 1, Instructor 2, 3, Strategy and Tactics, Aircraft Crash Rescue. And it talks about all of the different things they took away from him. Delaney filed a petition for review with the Indiana Department of Homeland Security on June 17th, 2023. Firefighting Board granted the petition for review, and the matter was forwarded to this current office on July 13th, 2023. Ingram was appointed to the matter, and the initial pre-hearing conference was scheduled for August 18th, 2024. Okay, man, that'd be crazy. After 2 pre-hearing conferences, a verified petition for motion to stay was filed on November 7th, 2023. Stay hearing was scheduled and held. Okay, let's get down to where we get into the actual case. Okay, following exhibits were offered by the parties and admitted without objection from the opposing parties at the evidentiary hearing. This is going to be interesting. Interview of Caleb Maddox. Okay, that's a firefighter. All right, class roster, letter from Frank Sergi, screenshots of text messages between Troy Delaney, Dylan Altman, Jake Lassiter, James Main, Caitlin Hall, Matt Reese from January 13th, 2023 through February 6th, 2023. Letter from Christopher Deeds, anonymous complaint received by DHS on or about March 10th, 2023. Now, this anonymous complaint is going to be interesting. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Amendment to the anonymous complaint received by DHS on or about March 11th. Supplemental information provided by DHS anonymously on or about March 11th. Okay, So basically, we had firefighters who were anonymously doing this. Here's the thing. If someone's doing something wrong, if someone's really doing something wrong, something that you really take offense with, and you know that they're in the wrong, why go anonymous with it? And I will talk about that more here in a minute, and I'll explain to you why. Because these anonymous people had been talking with their administration, had been talking to the fire chief and whatnot. So these people were known. All right. It's known that this was Caleb Maddox and other people on turn 2 who just did not like Troy Delaney. It's very well clear documented that they just had a personal issue with him, and they were scratching to drum up anything that they could use to get him in trouble for. Okay, and I'm saying that as someone who doesn't particularly like Troy. Okay, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, Troy's a good guy. I'm just telling you, everybody on all sides of this thing stinks. It just lets me know that They've got far more time on their hands. To me, shouldn't you guys be doing some work rather than this petty bull crap? Okay. All right. So then the following witnesses were sworn and provided testimony at the hearing. And you'll see, some pretty interesting names on here. Jason Chafin, Rachel Clark, James Clevenger, Christopher Deeds, Troy Delaney, Brian Fields, Scott Hahn, Caitlin Hall, Mark Hill, Craig Kinney, Jake Lassiter, Caleb Maddox, James Main, Zach Matthews, Wesley Miller. Okay, that's definitely interesting. All right. More anonymous information. All right. This is interesting. Caleb Maddox is an employee with the Muncie Fire Department in the 2nd Battalion. Caleb Maddox testified that Chris Short submitted the complaint. Chris Short is a lieutenant. Okay, although the complaint was anonymous, many at the Muncie Fire Department believe that Caleb Maddox submitted the complaint. Caleb Maddox is an employee with the Muncie Fire Department, 2nd Battalion. Caleb Maddox testified that it was Chris Short who submitted the complaint. All right, interesting. Okay. All right, here. I want to get down here to where we understand what's happening. All right. I'm not going to go through his career. He had done a bunch of stuff. He had been involved with a lot of crap. Many consider Delaney an intense individual, which could be attributed to his background. Delaney was hardworking, reliable employee who was truthful and honest. He had a strong sense of community and set high standards for himself and everyone around him. Okay, and that's true. Deeds, Clevenger, Chafin, Hahn all testified to that. No, that's pretty accurate. All right. All right, this is where you need to understand this stuff. Going into 2023, MFD knew that Battalion Chief of the 2nd Battalion was going to be retiring in 2024. So there would be an opening for the 2nd Battalion Chief. All right. At the beginning of 2023, Chris Short was in the #1 position on the merit board's promotional list. If the promotional list was extended, Chris Short would become the 2nd Battalion Chief. Some employees at the Muncie Fire Department who worked on the 2nd Battalion wanted Chris Short to be their next battalion chief. Okay. On the other hand, MFD employees speculated that if the promotional list was recreated, Delaney would be the #1 person on the list. If Delaney was #1 on the promotional list, he would get that position. All right. That would become available in 2024 instead of Chris Short. You understand what's starting to happen here? At the February 9th, 2023 merit board meeting, several employees at MFD attended and were prepared to argue that the promotional list should not be recreated. The meeting, however, lasted approximately 10 minutes, and the merit board took no action on the promotional list. Approximately 1 week after the merit board, Chris Short gave MFD Fire Chief Meade a packet of information accusing Delaney of cheating on examinations. MFD Fire Chief Meade ultimately took no action on the cheating accusations. Interesting. The next merit board meeting occurred on March 9th, 2023. At that meeting, several employees attended and argued that the current promotional list should be extended. The merit board ultimately voted to start the process to create a new promotional list. So at that point, Chris Short got knocked out of the absolute position of getting that, and they were going to start the process again. Now it was going to be whoever the best person was. It would be a toss-up between Delaney and Short. All right. Because it takes several months to go through the process of creating a new list, the current promotional list would remain in effect until November 2023, and then the new promotional list would be certified by the Merit Board. On March 10th, 2023, the packet that Chris Short gave to Chief Meade was anonymously given to the media. It was also then anonymously given to the Registry of Emergency Medical Technicians and to DHS. Now, you got to ask yourself, okay, if in February of 2023, 1 week after the board meeting on February 9th, Chris Short gave Meade the packet and nothing happened. And then in March, that packet was anonymously sent to the media. You know, I wonder who sent it to the media. Okay. You understand what we've got going on here? We've got like a shake up to who's the more, you know, more powerful person and what's going on.
It's called a dick measuring contest, Kristopher.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. That's 1000%. Well, and the deal is the fact that I saw it right before I went off screen. Stumblefoot said, you know, isn't there due process? Don't you have a right to face your accuser? You've got all these people sending this crap off anonymously. They had already given it to the higher ups at the fire department, and they decided to do nothing with it. So then what these guys did is they went kind of against, you know, what happens in the code of policing and firing and fire department, and they went to the media with it, you know, which right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm telling you, it's just, you got to see what's going on here. There's a lot shaken up here. It's not like Chris Short was like, well, I'm concerned about, you know, the fairness of everything. No. This dude was just wanting to make sure that he was first in line for this job. Okay. So, all right, that takes us back now to then by the October 2023 Merit Board meeting, it was known that Dulaney was now number one on the promotional list. At the October meeting, the 2nd Battalion Chief, who intended to retire in 2024, tried to submit his resignation early. Listen to this. Listen to what they're doing. The guy who was going to retire in 2024 tried to submit his resignation early so that Chris Short would become the 2nd Battalion Chief. The Merit Board did not accept the resignation. I mean, this is some really underhanded stuff going on here, folks, that I don't think people knew about. This is really crazy. All right. Neither Chief Meade nor the Merit Commission took any disciplinary action against Delaney regarding the cheating allegations contained in Short's packet. Obtaining certifications from EMS Commission. To obtain certifications from the EMS Commission, a person needs to complete and pass evaluation, which has 3 components: training, evaluation of skills, and a written test. Okay, and it goes through all of this. It tells you that it's the test is a computer adaptive multiple choice exam that adapts to each examinee's knowledge of the material. The exam poses different questions on subjects tested in an examination to see if the examinees know the material. The first question for each examinee's question is randomly generated, and the difficulty of the second question can increase or decrease based on how the student answers the first question. The test continues to adapt until it is satisfied that the examinee either knows or does not know the material. For that reason, it's impossible for an examinee to cheat on the exam from a traditional standpoint because the questions and answers are different for each examinee. An examinee could take the test 10 times and never see the same questions. All right? Yeah, following along? There are thousands of questions in the exam bank. In 2018, they added 2,800 new questions to the test. In 2020, they added approximately 300 questions a month into the test bank. MFD sends its recruits to Ivy Tech to be tested, and they are monitored and recorded through the entire test. Okay, to do stuff with the firefighting board, it's basically the same thing. The rope certification course and examination, okay, it's basically the same thing here, okay. While Rachel Clark was taking ropes examination, she did not see Delaney show examinees the questions and answers during the examination. Delaney's son, Jordan Delaney, was in the ropes course and failed the ropes examination. Well, if he's going to cheat, isn't he going to help his son? Isn't going to help his son cheat? Caleb Maddox was in the ropes course, and while he was in the class, he says that he saw Delaney walk around the room and show students test questions and answers that Delaney had on his phone. Maddox did not provide any specifics on whether the test questions and answers were from actual examination or whether they were from a study guide. Maddox did not allege that Delaney showed test takers questions and answers during the ropes examination. All right, that's important. Okay. Braden Fields testified that he was also in the 2021 ropes course, and after the course, Fields asked Delaney if he would help Fields study for the ropes examination. Fields testified that Delaney held out his cell phone and showed Fields study questions and answers, and Fields took pictures of the questions and answers. Fields' testimony was not credible. First, Fields wasn't even on the roster for the 2021 ropes course. Second, his testimony conflicts with earlier statements he made to the DHS investigator, Zach Matthews. Specifically, Fields told Matthews in an interview that Delaney told Fields that he could get Fields through the examination and offered to send Fields questions and answers. Fields told Matthews that he did not need help from Delaney. So listen to this. The judge says, this is pretty damning. Fields' testimony was not credible. That's nuts. Okay. FOST certification course. Okay. Caleb Maddox was one of 10 people in the course. Delaney allegedly gave screenshots to Sean Burcham, 2016 FOST examination, to everyone in the class. Maddox testified that the hearing that Delaney provided him with a copy of the screenshots that contained the 2016 questions and answers. At the hearing, while under oath, Maddox was unsure if the screenshots was given to anyone else in the 2022 course. Maddox was interviewed by Matthews during the course of the DHS investigation. In the interview, contrary to his testimony at the hearing, Maddox told Matthews that Delaney hand copies of the screenshots in the 2016 examination to everyone in the 2022 course. No one other than Maddox had a copy of the screenshots. Because of the conflicting evidence, Maddox's testimony regarding the screenshots lacks credibility. Man, this is big because Maddox was one of the big people pushing this. Chris Maddox was one of the big people pushing this. And I'm going to tell you that, Caleb Maddox. I'm going to tell you, when the judge is coming out and saying Maddox was not credible, that's damning. All right. What is the city of Muncie? What is the Muncie City Fire Department going to do with firemen that are not credible? That's scary. To me, it's as scary as having police officers. You do not want anybody in public safety. You do not want anybody in public service that is not credible. Police, fire, EMS, elected officials, to hell with them all. Get rid of them all. Okay. January and February 2023, MFD conducted a basic EMT course for personnel to obtain a certification from the EMS Commission. Wesley Miller was the primary instructor of the EMT course. Okay. Saying Delaney began a text group with several different people at some point. A couple different groups were created. In the group chat, Delaney discussed preparation for the skills evaluation and the EMT examination. Delaney also provided the new recruits with information about events happening at MFD. For preparation for the skills evaluation, Delaney suggested that the recruits watch certain YouTube videos and practice the motions demonstrated in the videos. Man, that hardly sounds like cheating, okay? That's crazy. All right. Let's move on down here. Some of the questions and answers were ones that were provided to Delaney from previous recruits who had taken the examination and memorized the questions and answers. Delaney specifically mentioned that some of the questions were from Adam Burke. Okay. Other questions and answers were the ones that Delaney got from books and study guides that Delaney purchased and used to help him study for examination. Most of the questions Delaney provided can be found on a website, book, or study guide that contained sample exam questions. Many of the questions and answers had page numbers associated with them that correlated with the page in the study guide where the questions and answers could be found. All right? Like, Delaney had a genuine interest in helping the new recruits learn the material and skills necessary to receive their certification. Look, this is about making sure you understand it, making sure that you are going to be the best paramedic that you can be, and that you have an understanding of the material and what you're going to do with the material. It's about knowing the information and how to apply the information in the field. All right. If you know things in the field, but you don't know what you got to do, you don't know the right medicines, you don't know that, you're in trouble. If you know the information, but you don't know how to apply it, you're in trouble. Okay. You got to be able to marry those two things together. All right. Okay. The day before the test, Delaney allegedly sent the following text to the 6 new recruits. You guys owe me. At some point after testing, text me individually any you can recall. Only text me questions with verified answer. I ask you to text me individually because I want to see how much you are willing to invest into me. Be safe and you will kill it tomorrow. Think positive. Okay. I mean, that's a weird thing. I wouldn't have sent that. Whatever. After receiving this text message, Dylan Altman felt pressured to provide questions and answers from the EMT examination to Delaney. Altman was in the military for 7 years, and it was ingrained in him to follow his leader's orders. Delaney's request to Altman made Altman feel taken advantage of. Altman had a bad taste in his mouth after having received Delaney's request. Altman felt prepared for the exam and knew the material. Altman passed the test with a high score. After the exam, Altman provided EMT examination questions and answers to Delaney. Matt Reese felt uncomfortable after received the text message, but because Reese was a recruit and Delaney was a captain, Reese felt like he was to do what he was told. Delaney told the 6 new recruits that they owed him. Release wanted to stay on Delaney's good side because he was a captain. Reese studied hard for the exam and does not feel that he cheated on it. After the exam, Reese could not remember any questions, so he did a Google search of questions and answers and sent them to Delaney. After the allegations were released to the media, Reese was angry because people were questioning his integrity. Okay. Based on the text message, James Maine felt that he needed to provide Delaney with questions. All right. Just okay. I mean, I can understand that. Like I said, again, I wouldn't have sent that out. I don't know why Delaney did. He probably shouldn't have. But I still don't think it's the end of. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I just don't think that he should have worded it the way that he did. I don't know. After DHS completed their investigation, the 6 recruits were fined $100, had to retake the test, and were put on a 2-year probation. I mean, that's kind of shitty. Delaney admitted to providing questions and answers to the 6 recruits to assist them in taking the test. Delaney contends that all the questions were the ones that can be found on either the study guide or through search online. If someone had told Delaney to stop providing these questions and answers to new recruits or other employees of MFD, he would have stopped. Like Altman and Hall, Delaney has a military background and follows the orders of his leaders. Delaney asked for the questions and answers to see exam trends and to make sure that people he assisted were learning all of the appropriate material. I can also understand that. Other instructors at MFD also asked their students how they did after examinations to make sure the instructors were teaching the correct information. This helps the instructors be better instructors for future courses. Prior to the exams being implemented in 2016, the state would send trends and feedback to the instructors after examinations. The feedback would tell the instructors what areas the examinees did well on, and what areas they struggled with. This feedback stopped when the state started using the new exams, okay? Delaney admitted to sending the above quoted text message to the 6 recruits. Delaney does not deny that he asked the 6 recruits to bring back questions and answers from the exam. Delaney did not think that doing this violated any rules, nor did he think that it constituted cheating because the NREMT preparation questions were readily available in books, study guides, and online. Delaney's intent was to get information on trends that the testing was showing so he could make sure students were prepared for future examinations. Delaney regrets texting the 6 new recruits that they owed him and wanted to see how much the 6 new recruits were willing to invest back into him. Delaney intended the text to be motivational text that went wrong. Delaney meant it in the text that he wanted to see how much the 6 recruits were willing to invest back into MFD, not himself personally, and if they were willing to pay it forward to future students and recruits, which is a common thing said in these types of jobs, okay? Delaney's testimony at the hearing was credible and supported by other credible evidence. Delaney's testimony and passion while testifying were compelling and lent credibility to his testimony. Wesley Miller, Scott Hahn, Christopher Deeds, Jason Chafin, James Clevenger Jr. testified positively to Delaney's character and do not believe that Delaney intentionally tried to have others cheat on the exams. All 5 are or were high-ranking employees at MFD with years of familiarity with Delaney's work performance and ethic. Wesley Miller, Scott Hahn, Christopher Deeds, Jason Chafin, and James Clevenger Jr. Were all part of making that determination for the judge. Delaney was known as one of the best tutors at MFD. If someone was struggling with a skill or subject, that person was generally sent to see Delaney to assist the student. Delaney spent extra time with each individual student until they learned the skill. Delaney did not receive extra pay or promotion for assisting students. Delaney simply enjoyed working with the students to learn new skills. That's pretty big. All right, conclusion of law. All right, the firefighting board has the authority to issue and revoke certifications to the fire service persons. Fire service persons who disputes the decision of the firefighting board to revoke certification may seek an administrative review pursuant to Indiana code. When petition for administrative review is filed regarding these things, they then look into it. All right. The hearing was held in compliance. The DHS has the burden of proof and the burden of persuasion. Directed verdict. After the case in chief, petitioner requested a directed verdict. Partial relief was granted on petitioner's directed verdict. Specifically, the Department of Homeland Security did not present evidence that Delaney violated one of their codes. The board concluded that in its order that Delaney did not uphold the board's practices and policies in its capacity as a proctor in violation of DHS did present evidence that Delaney served as a proctor, but that code regulates leads evaluators, not proctors. Specifically, lead evaluators must sign a written acknowledgement that is prepared by the firefighting board, in which the lead evaluator acknowledges a commitment to uphold the firefighting board's practices and policies. DHS presented no evidence that Delaney met the qualifications to be a lead evaluator. Okay, the request for the directed verdict as to whether Delaney violated that was denied. The request for directed verdict was as to whether Delaney violated Indiana Code 354354 was taken under advisement. All right, violation of that code. The firefighting board has authority to revoke certification issued by the board. If the certification holder fails to comply with the firefighting board's rules. All right. If the firefighting board ruled that written or cognitive examinations as a proctor is not permitted to discuss any test questions or possible answers thereto with any students taking the examinations. All right. Look here. This is what's important. Although evidence was presented during the instructional classes for the ropes course, Delaney showed students questions and answers that he had on his phone. There was insufficient credible evidence presented that Delaney showed examinees questions and answers during the examination. Furthermore, there was no evidence presented that the questions and answers that Delaney showed students in the ropes course were questions and answers from the ropes examination. It remains unknown whether these questions and answers on Delaney's phone were actual questions from the ropes examination or if they were questions and answers from a study guide. That's very important because that's what you see throughout the remainder. That's what you see throughout the remainder of this judge's rulings. Okay, let me get down here. The DHS did not meet the burden that Delaney violated that. Okay, let's see here. DHS has not met its burden to establish that Delaney's certification issued by the firefighting board should be revoked because his conduct violated that. They did not meet that burden. Decision and order. This non-final decision and order reverses the findings and the order of the Board of Firefighting Personnel Standards and Education issued on June 5th, 2023, that revokes Troy Delaney's certifications issued by the firefighting board. Troy Delaney certifications issued by the board should be reinstated in their entirety. This includes the following certifications, and then they go down through the entire and it is so ordered by the judge. Folks, this is something that happens over and over and over with this, okay? We're not going to go through the second one as long because you see the same thing. I'm going to post all of this on my social media. That being said, I am going to just go down and show you the final I'm going to show you the some of the final wordings and the judge's final order in that one as well. So in the second one, let me pull this up here and show you. Damn it. Okay, here we are. This is the second one. All right. Also, Troy Delaney. And this is the petitioner. Let me see what we're looking at here. Okay. This all starts out basically the same thing. Following exhibits were admitted to evidence, the same thing with all of the same people testifying, and all that basically is the same as on the first one. Following same witnesses were providing testimony. Okay, we know about the anonymous complaint. We know about Delaney's career. We know about the story with the job, the two people wanting the job. Let's get down to the actual testimony. All right, these testimonies are the same. Here's the FOST certification course again. All right, we're down to the 6 new recruits, and they didn't feel comfortable getting that text from Delaney. All right, you guys owe me at some point after the test. Text me individually. We've seen that before. The 6 recruits were fined $100. Delaney admitted to providing the questions and answered. If someone had told Delaney, he would have stopped. Other instructors asked their students how they did. Delaney regrets sending the text. Delaney's testimony at the hearing was credible and supported by other credible evidence. Delaney's testimony, intensity, and passion while testifying was compelling and lent credibility to his testimony. Other personnel testified positively to Delaney's character. Delaney was known as one of the best tutors, all of that stuff. Conclusion of law. The EMS Commission has the authority. Person holding certificate or license is subject to disciplinary actions. The decision by the Department of Homeland Security to impose disciplinary sanctions may be appealed. Hearing procedures. We go through the regular hearing procedures. They're all the same. Request for directed verdict. That all stayed the same. Violation of Indiana code. We talked about that. Whether engaged in fraud or material deception of the course of professional services or activities. So what they've got to look at is defines a fraud as a person with the intent to obtain property or data or an educational, government, or employment benefit to which a person is not entitled, knowingly or intentionally makes a false or misleading statement or creates a false impression in another person with the intent to cause another person to obtain property knowingly or intentionally. Okay, makes a false or misleading statement, creates a false impression in a third person, causes there to be presented a claim that contains a false or misleading statement, or creates a false or misleading impression in a third person. Possesses, manufactures, uses, or alters a document, instrument, computer program, or other device with the intent to obtain property, data, or educational, government, employment benefit. Delaney passed out the test questions and asked the 6 new recruits to provide him with test questions and answers. But these acts do not meet the criminal definition of fraud. Delaney did not knowingly or intentionally make false or misleading statements or create a false impression in another person. In addition, Delaney did not possess, manufacture, or use or alter a document, instrument, or computer program or device with the intent to obtain property, data, or educational, governmental, or employment benefit. There was no property, data, or benefit that Delaney sought to obtain for himself. He intended to obtain information to be a better instructor and to help students learn the information and skills necessary to pass the examinations. None of Delaney's actions constitute fraud or material deception. All right. DHS argues that the higher number of students who failed in 2023 ropes class after DHS changed the test questions shows that the students' earlier successes were because Delaney helped them cheat. This argument is that's nuts. I cannot believe that that's the way that they went with it. Because what if the students beforehand were just better test takers? What if the students just understood it or studied harder or studied more? Or, I mean, that's crazy that that's the way they went. Because people now, what if the fact that people were scared, that they were nervous because of everything that was going on with all of this, that is really, really crazy that happened. There are simply not enough evidence to link alleged cheating with different testing results. Correlation does not equal causation. Ding, 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 ding. That is the perfect fit right there. Okay. Even more so, correlation without context does not permit us to speculate about causation. Therefore, Delaney did not violate Indiana code, meaning that fraud up there. Okay. Immoral conduct. Okay. Delaney committed no act that would be considered lewd. I mean, this is nuts. Okay. Getting on down here, assisting others. Therefore, DHS did not prove that Delaney violated that. Disciplinary sanctions. And basically, what they've done here is said that the revocation of certificate for a period not to exceed 7 years, suspension of certificate not to exceed 7 years, censure certificate holder, issuance of letter of reprimand, assessment of civil penalty, and placement of certificate holder on probation status. Okay, this person's, the judge says DHS ordered the petitioner have all of these certificates be revoked for 7 years beginning on May 18th, 2023. This is the harshest disciplinary sanction that they can impose, and it exceeds the gravity of Delaney's actions. The evidence shows that Delaney intended to help students to learn the skills necessary to pass certification examinations. Delaney spent several hours outside of his normal work with hours with students, such as the 6 recruits helping them learn. A portion of that time included giving them test questions and answers that at least one previous student had given him from a previous examination. Delaney asked the 6 recruits to provide him with questions and answers that they remembered from the examination in order to pay it forward to help future recruits. Delaney is committed to his job, whose commitment is to assist others, got in the way of doing what is right, honest, and commendable. However, Delaney has a high probability of rehabilitation. His demeanor throughout his testimony is credible, and acknowledgement that he would have done things differently. And the credible testimony offered by others who have worked with Delaney supports the following disciplinary sanctions. All right. They say, the judge says that he should be revoked for a period of 2 years and that it should end on May 18th of 2025. So that'll be coming up here just next year. The other certificates should all be good after December 31st, 2024. So that's the end of this year. Delaney would be on probation for 5 years from May 18th, 2023 to May 18th, 2028. When a certificate or license holder is placed on probation status, the certificates or license holder may be subject to the following: regularly reporting to DHS on matters related to the basis of probation, limit practice in the areas prescribed by DHS, continue to renew professional education and approved by DHS until satisfactory degree of skill has been attained in the areas that are the basis of the probation, or perform or refrain from performing any acts that DHS considers appropriate to the public interest or to the rehabilitation of treatment of the certificate or license holder. All right, during the 5-year probation, Delaney should be subject to the following. For the first 2 years of probation, Delaney may not obtain any instructor certificates or license from the EMS Commission. After May 18th, 2025, Delaney may pursue the DHS-approved professional education until satisfactory degree of skill has been attained for any instructor certificate or license from the Commission. Delaney shall refrain from engaging in any activity related to training or instruction to any person seeking to obtain a certificate or license from the EMS Commission until he has attained an instructor certificate or license from the Commission. After Delaney has attained an instructor certificate or license from the Commission, Delaney must report to DHS every 6 months and report all training or instruction. Decision and order. Troy Delaney did not violate Indiana code. Troy Delaney did not violate that Indiana code. Disciplinary sanctions include, and it goes down through the same thing that I just basically read. At the bottom line, they both sides have a right to appeal this, and I don't know what the other side has done as of yet. What I know here is the Muncie Fire Department has been silent on this since this ruling came out. GW says, let me see here, because I've been off screen. Okay, I see that Kate got Jackie taken care of. GW, what do you say so he did? At 11:16, you said so he did. What is that in reference to? Yeah, it is a lot. Listen. Yeah, listen, here's the bottom line. I'm not a fan of Delaney. I don't really care for him as a person. He's not my bag of chips or whatever. All right. I'm just not, he and I are not friends. I always treated him right and respectfully. When we were doing the big ordeal with the Muncie Fire Department, fire-based EMS, I was a big supporter of the Muncie Fire Department and the Muncie Fire EMS. There was a situation where I thought the fire department had done something wrong, and I came out against them. And Delaney and some of his people were going off on me for that. And Delaney and I have just not gotten along since then. I know that he's intense. I know that he loves his job. I know that he likes doing what he does. And I'll tell you, not only he loves being a firefighter, but the only thing I think he loves more than being a firefighter is being an instructor, training people how to be a firefighter and instructing them how to be safe. I was a field training officer for the police department. And that is a hectic position because you're training people who go out, okay, and do this thing. And in my profession, when the people would leave my field training routine, if they go out and get themselves killed, I feel like that's on me. You know what I mean? If they go out and they violate someone's rights or they do something crazy, I feel like that's on me. So I felt like I had the responsibility to make the absolute best officer possible. And I'm sure that firefighting EMS is the same. And I know what kind of person Delaney is. And I fully believe that Delaney wants them to be knowledgeable, wants them to be safe, wants them to be, it's like having a kid. It's kind of like having a kid. You want your kids to grow up to be nice, good people that are professional and educated and intelligent and make money and have good lives and, be fruitful and go on in life. When you're an instructor of people in any field, teachers or whatever, but specifically in public safety, you want to know that you're sending people out there to be the damnedest best officer or firefighter that you can make. And, it's, I think that Delaney's like that. I don't think that Delaney did anything crazy or anything wrong compared to anything else I've ever seen in policing or that I know that lawyers do, or that I know that doctors do, or mechanics, or literally anybody in any kind of field where you have a situation like this happen, where there's book work and there's field work, and you have to then marry the two together. And I don't think Delaney purposefully, knowingly, or intentionally was doing anything wrong. I think he did stupid stuff, and I think that he should be punished for it. But I don't think it should be a forever punishment. I think he should get his job back if he wants it. I also think that we need to look at what we're going to do with these firemen. We have several firefighters and EMS personnel who have credibility problems now. And to me, their problems are almost worse than Delaney's, because Delaney is just guilty of trying to prepare his students too much, tiptoeing around the line of what was right in that case. People who have credibility issues, that's a big problem. So I don't know. Everyone will know that everyone involved did retest, and everyone retested in a way that none of the stuff with Delaney could have mattered, and everyone did well. So they all know their stuff. They're doing well. The Muncie Fire Department is doing a great job in the area of EMS. They're saving lives. They're doing a good job. And so I'm happy with the work overall, but I think that there's a big question of what's going on. Their integrity is questionable. Absolutely. So when we get off of here, which we're getting ready to wrap up, I will post all of this on social media so people can go through and look, because there is a lot to dissect here and to digest. I understand it. So you can go through and read it yourself. It'll be on Facebook, and it will be on X. I will also put a link in the description of this episode. So those of you that don't have Facebook or whatever, you can click in the description of this, and you'll be able to see the pictures of this, of what we just read through, if you're so interested. So that will be there. All right, folks, tomorrow I will be back at the studio. We will be coming to you live. We will have a lot of good content tomorrow. Things are going to start getting crazy. From tomorrow forward, things are going to start getting crazy. Talked to Rainwater today. There's a lot of craziness going on there. We've got a Rainwater thing on Thursday. We've got the interview with Beckwith on Wednesday. We've got the solar thing. We've got the Muncie City Council. We've got this thing on Wednesday. Let me see exactly what we've got. Rainwater. Okay, so Tuesday, I've got the solar thing I'll talk to you guys about. Wednesday, we have Beckwith. Wednesday, we have this thing. And then Thursday, we have this thing. So, hey, Stumblefoot, that's all right. I figure you're going the right way with that vote anyway, so it probably won't matter. But if you're interested, we're gonna put him to the test, and we're gonna ask him a lot of stuff. So yeah, there's the MFD stuff. I knew that you've been waiting for that, GW. I appreciate you hanging around and waiting for that. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you. This has been kind of just a bit by bit here, there, and everywhere. So I thank you guys. I appreciate everything. Do us a favor and hit the like before you leave. If you have not subscribed, subscribe, click the bell, do all of that stuff. Very, very much appreciate it. I want to thank you guys for everything. We will be back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Like always, I'll be from the studio, and we will go from there. All right. I appreciate you guys. Take care. God bless. And I'm right here, so I'm going to hit the thing, Kate, the screen. You guys take care. God bless. Have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.